What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So the 2023 draft is already looking like one of the better drafts of the 21st century. You had 4 players debut in the NHL and all be pretty solid in their first seasons, on top of guys like Matvei Michkov, Will Smith making their debut this season. And Bleacher Report posted a redraft of the top 10 of the 2023 draft 2 days ago. So I thought it'd be a fun idea to go through that. I'm going to react to that. And then I'm going to give my top 20, what my redraft would be. I don't want to make like a separate one, but I thought this would kind of inspire it. We see where Bleacher Report's coming from. If you know me, if you follow me on different socials, love my people at Bleacher Report. I make some videos for them, and we're going to react to theirs. I'm obviously not going to be too mean to Bleacher Report if I disagree, because I have a working relationship with them, but we're going to see what they cooked up. Redrafting the top 10 picks of the 2023 draft. I was in Nashville for this. It's a fantastic draft. A lot of shocks. Carlson at 2 was mind-blowing, and I'm the number one Leo Carlson fan. But yeah, let's get into it. Up first, hindsight is never an option in drafting, nor should it be. No shit. This don't get me wrong, this is a silly video, redrafting guys 1 year later. But as you can imagine, Connor Bedard is at number 1. Pretty undeniable. At the time of the draft, there was some like Matvei Michkov might be better, like Adam Fantilli might be a better two-way guy. Nonsense, especially after his rookie year, 61 points, 68 games. It is without a doubt. I have not seen this. I've already cooked up my own top 20, but I have not seen this actual list. So at number 2, I'm going to assume that it's Matvei Michkov, but I wouldn't be shocked if they put Fantilli or Carlson here. Matvei Michkov. Okay, makes sense. He's not NHL proven like Carlson, like Fantilli, like even Zach Benson, but I think we can agree he's probably going to walk in and immediately, as long as Tortorella doesn't like absolutely hate his play style, he's probably going to walk in and put up like, I think 55, 60 points if he's actually in a solid top 6 role, considering how productive he was in the KHL last year. Is he a little bit of an all offense, no defense kind of guy? Yes, but he has legit like 45 goal, 60 assist, 105, 110 point kind of potential. So I think he's still second. He was my clear cut second best prospect. Now at number 3, it's Bleacher Report. I'm going to say they're going to go with the Canadian and Adam Fantilli here. Will Smith. Dude, what? Will Smith at number 3, who, again, I'm very high on. He's like my number 3 or number 4 prospect in the entire NHL, but compared to guys like Carlson or Fantilli that put up, they both fell with injuries, but put up like 50-point pace as rookies on like dog shit teams, to go with Will Smith. We didn't read the blurb on the other ones. We're definitely reading the blurb on Will Smith here. How do you do they mention, like, oh, he hasn't played a single NHL game? Would have made sense. The beneficial was 0 slight. Playmaking. Yeah, dude, I don't get that. From a physical standpoint, you take Fantilli and Carlson in terms of their potential. I love Will Smith. Very speedy, skilled, 6-foot center. But compared to the other two, yeesh, man. I assume, let's see who's going to be up next. All right, Adam Fantilli at number 4. I personally would have Leo Carlson over Adam Fantilli. I think he's a more higher IQ player. I think he's going to be better defensively. Adam Fantilli might have a little bit higher offensive ceiling, but I'm just still blown away. But I wouldn't even, I'd have Benson still over Will Smith. I understand that Will Smith was great at the college level. He had like 71 points in 41 games. A guy like Zach Benson had 30 points in 71 games, played like 15, 16 minutes a night, showed that he is built for the NHL. And I had Zach Benson ahead of Will Smith in my draft rankings in 2023. So I definitely would go with Benson. It's got to be Carlson up next. It's got to be Carlson. I think Carlson is closer to, okay, thank God it's Carlson. I think Carlson's closer to that number 2 spot with Matvei Michkov. I think the gap between Michkov and Carlson is smaller than the gap between Carlson and Smith in terms of who I'd rather have for the future. Like, god damn, man. He's already like Anaheim's number 1 center. He had very good underlying numbers, both offensively and defensively. He was in like the top 25th percentile. It's just his teammates couldn't finish for fucking shit. He's 6'3". I think he's like still growing. He's like 6'4" by now. Let's be clear, being 5th. Again, I don't get how you can say that, man. Compared to fucking Will Smith on like a super line at BC. He was the best player on that line probably, and he probably has the best ceiling out of anybody on that line, but yeah, him to Montreal would have been crazy. That would have been nuts. That would have been their franchise. Although I like Nick Suzuki a lot, that would have been their franchise superstar center. Getting all these Fandango ads. Ryan Leonard, number 6. Yeah, I think after this, I would still have Benson over Ryan Leonard. I can understand this, but again, Benson is NHL proven, and I did think Benson was the better prospect. But Ryan Leonard would definitely be after Benson at number 7. Ryan Leonard to the Arizona Coyotes. That'd be a good pickup by them. They initially took Simashev, who's going to be in my top 20. I'm just not that high on him. Interesting. Benson has to be next. If they go like Gabe Perreault or David Reinbacher over fucking Zach Benson, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem, Bleacher Report. All right, Zach Benson here, Philadelphia Flyers. That'd be a good fit. Fucking gritty Philadelphia, Zach Benson there. I think this guy I don't think he's going to be Brad Marchand, considering the fact Marchand's like 5-year prime was like 100-point pace, first and second team NHL like every single year. But I think that there's similarities between the two. I think he's going to be a 75 to 85 point very good two-way first liner. I think Buffalo got a steal at 13th. I think everybody agrees at 13th. That was ridiculous that he fell there. And again, this guy made the team out of camp. I know the Buffalo Sabres weren't that good of a team, but still very, very impressive this year from my mic is not centered. Very impressive. Who's going to be after this? Gabe Perreault, Reinbacher, Axel Sandin, Palika? We'll see. Gabe Perreault 20 at number 8. That's fine. Yeah, it's crazy that he fell to 23rd. He was the one guy throughout the 2023 process that I hyped up. And of course, the fucking Rangers got him. He was great this year at the college level. The skating is a little bit of a concern, but the offensive tools are just undeniable for him. 9th, Dalibor Dvorsky, very solid season in the OHL this year. The only problem was he wasn't the best 2023 draft pick on his OHL team, the Sudbury Wolves, he's going to be decently high in my top 20. So that's interesting. But I still think Dvorsky should be like I think I have him top 15 in my redraft. And then David Reinbacher, 10th overall to the St. Louis Blues. Yeah, I still think Reinbacher is going to be a very, very good player. 5th overall with the options that were there for the Montreal Canadiens. I still don't love the pick, but I don't like everybody that just looks at where did he play last year in the National League and over in Switzerland, and people be like, oh, he's not good. No, he's still a stud. I think he's going to be very good this year in the AHL. But now we're going to head over to the top 10 of my redraft. Okay, I'm not wasting any time. I'm not going to count it down. Here it is. Bedard, Michkov. I'm on the same page as Bleacher Report with those two. Carlson 3. I think you got to have Carlson number 3. Maybe it's a toss-up between him and Fantilli, but I'm going with Leo Carlson. By the way, that's my own Photoshop. That's like the best of my goddamn career. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm not that good at it. I cook there. Zach Benson, number 5 to Montreal. I know you can maybe say that Montreal wouldn't want another undersized winger. They already had Cole Caulfield, but I think Zach Benson just is such a good prospect, NHL proven. Will Smith to the Arizona Coyotes at the time. Imagine a Will Smith, Logan Cooley center duo. That would just be insane in terms of the talent there. Ryan Leonard to Philadelphia, similarly to Zach Benson going to Philadelphia. I think that would be a good identity fit. A gritty guy. Gabriel Perreault to the Washington Capitals. Same as Bleacher Report there. ASP to 9th overall to Detroit Red Wings. He eventually went 17th to Detroit Red Wings. Nate Danielson went 9th overall, but I have Axel Sandin Palika there, and then Easton Cowan at number 10 to the St. Louis Blues. They initially had Dalibor Dvorsky. Cowan, great this year in the OHL. I think he was the OHL Player of the Year. Very good season. Looks like he's projected to be a very good second-line center at the NHL level. Now we're going to go over to 11 through 20. Okay, so now we got 11 through 20. Let's run through this. Up first, 11th instead of Tom Willander to the Canucks. I have been taking Quinn and Musty. Yes, they also do have Lekar Amaki, but I think when looking at Musty, what he did this season at the OHL level, he was around 2 points per game. I think adding him at this point, there's not a decent gap between him and Reinbacher, but I think he would be the pick there. David Reinbacher to the Arizona Coyotes. They still get a defenseman. They took Simashev and Boot, as you can see, Boot's down there. So they get a forward and a defenseman, Will Smith and David Reinbacher. That would have been a really good draft. Bradley Nadeau to the Buffalo Sabres. They, of course, went with Zach Benson. They get another kind of solid winger to add to their core. When looking at Nadeau, he was great this year at the University of Maine. Somehow was snubbed from Team Canada at the World Juniors. And he's probably going to be playing some NHL games this year for the Carolina Hurricanes, who lost a metric shit ton of forwards. Gavin Brindley instead of Braden Yeager for the Pittsburgh Penguins. A little bit of an undersized guy, but was so good this year at the University of Michigan. Callum Ritchie instead of Matthew Wood for the Nashville Predators. Ritchie had 80 points in 50 games at the OHL level. Very promising prospect. Dvorsky stays within the lottery to the Calgary Flames instead of Sam Honzek, who I'm not really high on at this point. You're going to notice, if you follow me on Instagram, I have Simashev ahead of Boot when it comes to my prospect rankings, but at this pick for Detroit, considering I still have them taking Axel Sandin Palika in this, and they already have Edvinson, they already have Sider. I gave them Daniil Boot, who is very solid this year at the KHL level. I think he's continuing to progress very well, and he's like 6'5". He has all the physical tools. Jacob Fowler to the Winnipeg Jets. And yes, Hellebuck is having a 7-year extension kick in, but I think that there is enough of an age gap. He's like 12 years. Fowler's 12 years younger than Connor Hellebuck. It's not a UC Soros when Soros was 24, 25. They selected Askarov. I think there is enough of a gap in this hypothetical scenario to potentially draft a successor for Connor Hellebuck. Simashev to the Chicago Blackhawks. Get them a defenseman a year early. Again, I'm not factoring in that they took Leshinov this year, but they get a big, solid defenseman. And then Braden Yeager instead of Edward Chalet. They go Braden Yeager, who was very solid this year at the WHL level. What am I saying? But let me know in the comments, what do you think about Bleacher Reports? I'm still kind of floored by Will Smith being number 3 on their list. How would you rearrange it? Do you like my list? Do you like their list? What would your top 20 be? I'll be seeing the next one. Let me know if you want me to do like 2022, 2021. It's gonna be redraft season at some point. I'll let you know when, or just let me know if you want to see that. I'll be seeing the next one.